Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Carmine Sabia for Explain America. And folks, the liberals are going crazy. Now, admittedly, that's a short trip, but one Supreme Court justice just sent them into an absolute meltdown. Before we get started, please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Those little things really help us out, and they help our channel continue to grow. For the better part of the past 2, maybe 3 years, probably 3 years, Justice Clarence Thomas was the target of their vitriol, of their venom, of their hatred. Oh, how they went after him and his wife, Ginny Thomas, because Clarence Thomas is a conservative to his core. And boy, they despise that. See, and that's not the justice we're talking about here. But Justice Thomas, much like the justice we're talking about here, which is Samuel Alito, they believe in traditional American values. They believe in our way of life. They believe in the law and the Constitution. That makes them very dangerous for progressives who believe in none of those things. So when Justice Alito yesterday made his announcement that he was not going to recuse himself, just like Justice Thomas is not going to recuse himself from any Trump-related cases, and they know there's not a darn thing they can do about it, the meltdown and the pulling of the hair out of their own heads, it began, and it began in earnest. I, of course, find it hilarious. I think it's tremendous because these people are exactly who we say they are. They're unhinged. They're absolutely unhinged people living in a fantasy world of their own delusion. So I want you to watch these liberals freaking out about it and then let me know what you think in the comments. How much do you love Justices Thomas and Alito? Because I know I love them. They're my 2 favorites on the court right now. Justice Thomas and Scalia, the late, great Justice Antonin Scalia. They're my 2 favorite of all time. Who are your favorite Supreme Court justices? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear it.
Calls to recuse himself on both January 6th cases while blaming mean old Martha Ann. In typically defiant and indignant tones, he writes, "My wife is a private citizen, and she possesses the same First Amendment rights as every other American. She makes her own decisions, and I have always respected her right to do so. I am confident that a reasonable person who is not motivated by political or ideological considerations or a desire to affect the outcome of Supreme Court cases would conclude that the facts recounted above do not meet the applicable standard for recusal." As for the Appeal to Heaven flag outside their New Jersey home, that flag, repurposed as a symbol of support for Donald Trump, was flown during the January 6th insurrection. That flag, Alito, shoves Martha Ann under the bus again, saying the vacation house is in her name, and adding, "My wife is fond of flying flags. I am not." Joining me now with thoughts is Melissa Murray, NYU law professor and MSNBC legal analyst. Thoughts, my friend?
Okay, there's a lot here. Let me go through it. First of all, this letter is nominally addressed to Congress. It is a giant double-fingered FU to the American public. This man is not simply saying he is not fond of flying flags, but his wife is. He's basically trolling Americans who know that he is the author of Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization, the decision that withdrew the constitutional right to an abortion that Roe versus Wade established. He wrote that decision, and he says not once, not twice, but 3 times. He refers to his wife as a private citizen who's in possession of rights that allow her to, quote unquote, make decisions that he has always honored and respects her choices to do so.